Siostry i bracia, kochani,
Sisters and brothers,
dobrze
my
usłyszeliśmy.
beloved, we heard well.
Teraz jest czas.
Now it's the time.
Na niedawnych rekolekcjach biskupów,
During the retreat in Częstochowa for bishops recently, the father preaching, citing, I'm not sure now, but I think that he was citing Saint Teresa. He said that the 3/4 of the time of our life is plans, thoughts, longings, thinking, but 1/4 is a fact, it's alive, and the God is in this time when the life is happening, but not when everything else is closed in this space, in these longings, beautiful longings. But now we heard just recently in the text of Apostle, now if we were converted, he is even closer than before. And this is the way of living, to be somebody who is sensitive, who is bent toward which is new. God is entering in history, we can say it vertically. He is coming to everyone in the time that we are not expecting, the same time to everyone. And that's why this wait is so important. Try to wait. During one retreat, close retreat in a house of retreat, during 3 days, during one day I was preaching the conference, on the third I was preaching, and during the second day I wrote the desert. In the morning we prayed, and at 7 p.m. we had Eucharisty. During all the hours of the day, it was a monstrance in a church and the silent. The next day, one boy came to me. He said, but one stipulation, I said to them, about of the Bible, in a church you don't have any advice, any prayers. Jesus and you, only Jesus and you. Wait. He came to me and he said, I went in the morning, I decided that I will not eat. It was good, just only those who needed to eat, they have soup in the midday. In the evening we have agape, we have beautiful dinner, common to celebrate, to be happy together. And he came the next day. He said, I entered the church and I was chatting, I was speaking all the time. I didn't know what to do with myself. My thoughts were running away. And beautifully, he fell silent. He was a very young boy. And he said, you know, Father Bishop, after that, when the adoration was ended, I was very sorry. I felt really sorry that that's the end. And I said, brother, look, in one day you learned to pray, how to pray. You learned to meet God. God learned you. God, He taught you. The Advent needs to have something from this. It needs to be like this, and then it is Advent. If really God is to be born in ourselves, if this Christmas is not to be without God, overload with all this which we can see in Krakow, but not only. It's very essential that when we see and when we listen to those readings of today, They said about
porusza
this
się
that the
w
world
kolejnach
is moving
utartych
in
zwyczajach.
roots of common habits.
Jedzą, piją, żenią się,
We
za mąż się
eat,
wydają,
we marry, we give in
łajdaczą
marriage,
i tak dalej.
we living in a sexual
I nie
immorality,
czują, że Bóg przyjdzie,
and etc.
jakby na kształt
And
potopu,
they
coś
don't feel
wszystko
that the
zniknie,
God
nie
will
ma
come
znaczenia.
like a flood. Everything
I
will
oczywiście
disappear.
apostoł
It
nie
doesn't have
odrzuca nas
sense.
jako ludzi.
And of course, Apostle doesn't reject us as
Nadal mamy
human.
jeść, pić,
We should eat, drink,
ale nie w hulankach i
but
pijatykach.
not in carousing
Nadal
and
się
drunkenness.
żenić,
We should marry,
ale nie w rozpuście
but
i nieuzdaniu.
not in sexual immorality and debauchery. We should
Ale nie w
work,
kłótni,
but not
w zazdrości,
in
w
dissension, in
wykorzystywaniu
jealousy, in exploiting one
się.
another.
Apostołowi nie chodzi o to,
The
żebyśmy
apostle
się wyprowadzili
is not
stąd,
referring for us to move from this world,
tylko żeby Bóg mógł z
but
nas czynić,
to let God to make us human,
żeby mogło to się stać.
that it could happen.
Jak z tym czekaniem?
Like with this
Jest
waiting,
taki fizyk niemiecki,
there's one physicist, Albert Kellner.
niemiecki,
I think
ale to
that
nie ma
he's
znaczenia,
German, but
jakiej
it
narodowości.
doesn't matter the nationality.
Napisał taką książkę.
And he
Fizyka
wrote
szuka
a
sensu
book.
życia.
Physics is searching for the purpose of life.
Perfekcyjnie znam świat.
And he said, I know
is my
perfectly the
passion.
word. This is my passion,
Tylko
but only
nie wiedziałem po co.
I didn't know why.
Po co to wszystko
I
jest?
didn't know why this is all happening.
A z tym wszystkim ja
And with this all, me, why?
wiem, jak to działa.
I know how it's working.
Prowadzę wykłady.
I'm giving
robię
lectures,
badania.
I'm
Wiem,
doing
jak to wszystko
researches.
wspaniale,
I
perfekcyjnie
know
działa. Tylko po
how
co?
it's working perfectly, but why? What for?
I kończy tak pięknie.
And he's ending beautifully.
Dałem do ręki Biblię.
I took the Bible
Mówiłem
in my
o
hand.
tym zadaniu do domu.
and I said to you about this
Dałem do
homework.
ręki Biblię.
I
I
took the
zwróciłem się
Bible,
z pasją.
and with the passion he dedicated himself to read it. And he ends like this. Now I'm a physicist,
Ale kierownicę mojego
but
życia
the steering wheel of my
Jezus
life
wypuścił.
is in the hand of Jesus.
Jemu
I
dałem.
let it go to him. I gave it to him.
Dokąd
And I
zmierzam.
know
Wiem,
when
po co.
I'm going, and I
I
know
wiem,
why.
po co jest ten świat.
And now I know why
po co jest
this world
fizyka.
exists and why the physics
Wszystko już
is.
jest jasne.
Everything is clear now.
Teraz jest czas.
Now it's the time.
Teraz,
Now
żeby Bogu pozwolić
to let
na
God
to.
to do this.